Hello nerds and nerdettes, and welcome back to the channel where once again we have a new video for you guys. Today being a new month, we are officially in the month of September, my birthday month, but of course that means we need to go over my top 10 most anticipated releases scheduled for the month of September 2023. Obviously this is my list. You guys can leave your list down below. I'd love to hear from you guys and what you're anticipating for this specific month. But a quick reminder that if you are going to try and pre-order any of these books, or you're looking for any of the books and omnibuses that I've featured on my channel, to use the channel sponsor organicpricebooks.com, use the discount code STAYNERDY for $2 off your order. Or if you're ordering 3 or more books, you can use the code STAYNERDY, ship it together for 5% off that order. Also, for my manga lovers, I am a Right Stuff affiliate, so if you are planning on picking up a manga through Right Stuff and you'd like to help support the channel, you can use my code in the description in my link tree to help support the channel. Both the Organic Price Books code and the Right Stuff link are great ways to help support the channel, and every little bit matters and counts, and I'll be thankful for anything you guys are willing to do. But without further ado, let's jump into my list, my top 10 list for this month. But be warned, we have a lot of DC hype throughout this particular list. And we also, oddly enough, have a lot of Batman as well. So bear with me there, but let's go ahead and jump into the list, starting with number 10. All right, got the iPad out, so bear with me while I read the details off of the iPad. I can't memorize everything. But number 10 is Fist of the North Star Volume 10. This does have a release date of September 26, a cover price of $19.99, and a page count of 306 pages. I did recently review Volume 1 of this series. I can maybe leave the link up above if I remember while editing. And I actually very much enjoyed it. I did read a decent portion of this, or maybe I watched the anime at some point and I'm just confusing it. But it's definitely a Mad Max mixed with Berserk style of story, very brutal in a post-apocalyptic style of setting. You do follow the character of Kenshiro as he kind of goes on a lot of these episodic adventures fighting villains of the volume, kind of in a way, but I have heard that there is an overarching plot when you get into the later volumes, which I thought volume 10 was the final volume for this specific series. Man, was I wrong, because I'm seeing all the way up to like 14, 15, so maybe that's how many volumes it's going to take. Who knows? But I am extremely excited to get this in. I have a lot of catching up to do. I want to say I only have up to volume 7. Sorry, I had to double check. So I do have a lot of catching up to do to get to this point, but still, I know it's a series I want to finish and collect in my collection, and those connecting spines are beautiful on the shelf, so definitely check it out. But that wraps up number 10, so let's head into number 9. Number 9 is Godzilla by James Stokoe, the Deluxe edition. This has a release date of September 12th, a cover price of $39.99, and a page count of 168 pages. I am hearing rumors that this actually is not an oversized book. This is just going to be a standard hardcover, which does make that price of $39.99 a little bit of a hard pill to swallow, especially with a page count of 168 pages. But I am a huge kaiju fan. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong, Mothra, you name it. I really like that universe in general. The only reason I don't have more of it in my collection is because a lot of those miniseries titles have been collected in trade paperbacks, and I try to stay away from trade paperbacks just to restrict my collecting habits, so I'm not buying absolutely everything. But I do plan on getting this. I have not read this, but I am a huge Godzilla fan, so I know it's probably going to be definitely something that I'm going to enjoy. The art looks beautiful. I haven't heard anything but good things about the series in general, but I am planning on getting some more kaiju-oriented stories or just titles in general into my collection, because I really am missing that element from my particular collection. But that does wrap up number 9. Don't have too much to say because I have not read it, but it is still something I'm extremely excited about, and hopefully we get more Godzilla or kaiju oriented hardcovers. But we can go ahead and wrap up with number 9 and then jump on in to number 8. Coming in at number 8 is another manga, which is The Girl from the Other Side Deluxe Edition, Volume 4. This does wrap up the series in these deluxe edition hardcovers, which are the most beautiful books I've probably ever seen in my life. They look like a Bible with gold trim and a beautiful dark black hardcover, simplistic design, yet extravagant at the same time. Absolutely beautiful books, and also a beautiful story. This is a very dark and gritty kind of world. It gives M. Night Shyamalan's The Village vibes in a lot of way, as well as a weird play on Romeo and Juliet and some weird kind of twisted way, but still it's a extremely dark story with a lot of amazing lessons that you can learn. And I definitely recommend it to a lot of people that are fans of either fantasy stories or almost fantasy slice of lives in a lot of way, or adventure titles. I mean, this has so many kind of genres wrapped up into it, but such a great read, such a great manga, and a beautiful book. Didn't even say the release date because I got too excited about it. This does have a release date of September 26th, a cover price of $42.99, and a page count of 520 pages. Sorry you guys had to wait for that to the end of this. Got too excited. But that does wrap up number 8, so we will go ahead and jump on into number 7. Coming in at number 7 is Batman and Joker, The Deadly Duo. This has a release date, because I'm going to say that first, of September 12th, a cover price of $29.99, and a page count of 208 pages. This is a deluxe edition, a DC deluxe edition, so that is extremely exciting. This is somewhat a relative recent release. This is all by Mark Silvestri. His beautiful and immaculate art drawing Batman and Joker, but also Mark Silvestri on writing duties as well. It is a team-up book between Batman and Joker taking on a common threat, a common enemy, and it is absolutely great. It's yet another one of the good products that DC was putting out in recent years. I highly recommend you guys to check it out. If not for the story, maybe you don't like Batman or something, but definitely at least for the art, because Mark Silvestri just kills it. But it is a very interesting story. It is definitely something that is deserving of a deluxe edition. I think it's very soon to be getting a deluxe edition, but hey, if you have beautiful art and a story that people love, why not deluxe it up? So that does wrap up number 7, so we'll jump into number 6. Number 6 is Superman Kal-El Returns. This has a release date of September 5th, a cover price of $19.99, and a page count of 232 pages. This is Superman Kal-El returning to his flagship title, taking over from Tom Taylor's Connor Kent, Son of Kal-El Superman series. An very exciting time for a Superman fan like myself. I absolutely loved the Warworld saga. That was definitely some stellar stories to put Superman in and really captured the essence of Superman. But to see him return to Earth and, back to basics, it was beautiful. Absolutely a chef's kiss. This is almost a lead up as well to the the current run that's going on with Joshua Williamson and Jamal Campbell on art, which is beautiful art as well. But yeah, so this is kind of a lead up to that particular title in a lot of ways, almost a prologue of sorts. So definitely something you want to pick up if you plan on picking up that hardcover that I believe is coming out in like November or something for Joshua Williamson's Superman title. So definitely some good stuff. I'm a Superman fan. Of course, it's going to appear on the list, but that does wrap up number 6. So we will enter into my top 5 with, of course, number 5. Yet another appearance of Batman, but I think a lot of you guys probably knew this would be on my list. This is the Batman Adventures Omnibus. This has a release date of September 5th, a cover price of $150, which is DC's Omnibus price at this point. And it does have a page count of 1,200 pages, so it is a very big book. This is Batman, the animated series in comic book format. We kind of had a feeling this was going to come when the X-Men animated series Adaptions Omnibus came out for Marvel. Once we saw that people were actually buying that and reading that, we had a feeling DC was going to you know, cross over into that plane as well and make an omnibus for their most popular animated series. But this is great stuff. You have art by Bruce Timm, writing by Paul Dini, who is the writer on the show as well. You have the Mad Love Collected as well, which is the first appearance of Harley Quinn. Some big stuff going on in this omnibus, and definitely one that you're going to want to get, not only for the nostalgia factor, but if you just enjoyed those stories and the style of storytelling in the animated series, then this is a comic book version of that. So definitely a no-brainer here for me. Love the show. I was through the moon when I actually got the X-Men animated adaptations omnibus, because I wasn't planning on it at first, but once I did, I loved it so much. So this is definitely on my list now, because I don't want to regret not getting it. But that does wrap up number 5, so we'll head into number 4. And coming in at number 4 is World's Finest, Volume 2. This has a release date of September 19th, a cover price of $24.99, and a page count of 176 pages. This is obviously the second volume for Mark Waid and Dan Mora's World's Finest series, which is probably one of the best ongoing series, or at least at this point during this era of the title, was one of the best series in recent years from DC. Absolutely amazing. Mark Waid doing what he does best with superheroes, Dan Mora quickly becoming one of the biggest names in the industry, absolutely killing it on art. But this does follow the World's Finest, Batman and Superman going on adventures once again. This one kind of involving a visitor from another dimension, another realm, trying to tread carefully here, and in a lot of ways we see this character becoming almost Superman's Robin in a lot of ways, his sidekick, and you kind of get that character ventured into, and the story just kind of gets kind of bananas, especially during the end half, but absolutely great stuff. If you don't like the writing, I don't know why you wouldn't, but Dan Mora's art is worth the purchase itself. And if you don't like the art, which I don't know why you wouldn't, Mark Waid's writing is also worth the purchase. So definitely a no-brainer. If you like Superman and Batman, check this title out. Get your hands on Volume 1, because Volume 1 is immaculate as well. But this does wrap up number 4, so we'll jump into number 3. And coming in at number 3 is another Batman title. Like I said, very Batman heavy here, on this episode at least. We do have Batman Under the Red Hood Deluxe Edition, very deserving of a Deluxe Edition. This comes out September 5th, a cover price of $49.99, and a page count of 544 pages. This is obviously the introduction of the character of Red Hood and a return of a longtime deceased character that plays a role and is important to Batman. Treading lightly there just in case you guys don't know. But this is the first time that we see Red Hood kind of appear and become the character that we all know and love. If you're reading comics currently, he is still in comics, or the character is still in comics. Sorry, no spoilers here. But this does involve his origins. This does involve the first time of them meeting. This has been animated in a absolutely amazing animated movie as well, so check that out. Jensen Ackles voicing Red Hood, but really good stuff here. Definitely deserving of a deluxe edition, because it's one of those stories that is very essential to the history of Batman, and also it has been out of print for a very long time, I think even in paperback format, so definitely deserving of a deluxe edition. Super happy that we're getting it, and I'm definitely going to be picking this up. But that does wrap up number 3, so we'll jump into my top 2. Coming in at number 2 is Deceased War of the Undead Gods. This has a release date of September 5th, a cover price of $29.99, and a page count of 232 pages. This is going to be in those foil hardcovers that the rest of the volumes are collected in, which is a great way to collect the series, but I'm sure an omnibus is right around the corner now that the series is wrapped up. But this is the final series, the final book in the Deceased storyline, I guess. This does wrap up the story of Deceased, Tom Taylor's story of Deceased, and this is honestly Tom Taylor doing what he does best, a Elseworld style story with horror elements that does involve zombies, a anti-life equation that turns people into zombies at least, and then DC superheroes fighting that particular virus. Absolutely great stuff. If you guys have been watching the channel since it's kind of come around, you know that I love superheroes and I love zombies. This has both. This is a no-brainer. This was one of my favorite reads probably in recent years that I remember. I absolutely love all of the other volumes, but fingers crossed for an omnibus, but also scared for an omnibus because then I will definitely double dip into that omnibus. But super pumped that we're wrapping up Deceased in those hardcovers and we can get the entire Deceased story throughout or in these hardcovers, and they're going to look great side by side. Has a great ending also, by the way, if you guys haven't read it, so definitely check it out. But that does wrap up number 2, so let's jump into my number 1 most anticipated release of the month of September 2023. And coming in at number 1, you guys probably saw this coming, more Batman, but it is Batman Nightfall Omnibus Volume 1. This has a release date of September 19th, a cover price of $150. It's a DC Omnibus, and a page count of 960 pages. This is Volume 1 of 3. Are Volumes 2 and 3 going to be reprinted? I would gamble on that. I would bet on that, but I don't know. Obviously, no connections to DC to answer those questions, but I would probably guarantee that is in the near future. But this is my favorite era of Batman. This is my favorite Batman story. This is where you have the Dark Knight Rises story that we saw kind of take place, or a portion of that story that took place in the movies, but in comic book format. Batman having a run-in with Bane, his first run-in with the character of Bane, and having some very intense repercussions because of the run-in he has with that character. This is where you're going to see Jean-Paul Valley, Azrael, take up a certain mantle as well that causes a lot of friction between him and Bruce Wayne and Tim Drake Robin, and it is such a great read. You really get to see Bruce Wayne Batman pushed to his limits, but also get to see just how far he's willing to go. You also get to see why Bruce Wayne is the best fit for Batman, why he makes such a great Batman. But you also get a lot of great Tim Drake scenes as well, really just showing why he is one of the best, if not the best, Robin for Batman, just because of how ingrained he really is into the role of Robin and crime fighting with or without Bruce Wayne as Batman. And it is absolutely great. Such an amazing era. This is my favorite era, right in front of No Man's Land, but this one definitely takes the cake. And if you're a Batman fan, this is probably one of the most essential reads that I would highly recommend reading if you're a Batman fan and you want to get into Batman comics. But that does wrap up number 1, so that does wrap up my list. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys so we can kind of plan out where we want to go with our purchases through the month, or at least I can. But hopefully you guys can use it as well. I do want to make a slight honorable mention now that the list is wrapped up for Captain America Lives. I'm a huge Captain America fan. I do have that volume, but for those of you that don't, definitely anticipate that. It is one of the Ed Brubaker volumes, so definitely get your hands on that if you haven't already. But comment down below, let me know your top 10, your top 5 of the most anticipated releases that you're planning on picking up this month. I love to hear what you guys are excited for, as well as you guys obviously hearing what I'm excited for, and we can find some common interest and common dialogue there, maybe even discover something we weren't planning on getting. So definitely comment down below. But if you are not a part of the Illuminati, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up icon, it really helps with the algorithm. And if you enjoyed today's video and you want to be notified when this channel puts out any other content, hit that bell icon. That way you can get those notifications and make sure you tune in. But thank you so much for watching once again. I am once again amazed by the love and support by you guys. You guys really tuning into these videos, being an amazing part of this community. So thank you. And of course, as always, stay nerdy.